Welcome back to the BL1 webinar series. Today I am planning to discuss with you one question bank which is really important. Why? Because that will cover most of the chapters there in your syllabus. During this session, whenever it is required, I will discuss with you the theoretical aspects also parallel to this question bank discussion, right. So, this will consist of 50 questions and in your paper also there are 50 questions for 2 hours. So, this is really helpful for you to enhance your knowledge and to see whether you have required level of knowledge to handle CA Sri Lanka paper, right. Fine. Mixed bank 1, the first question is from which chapter? When you look at the requirement of this question, you should be able to understand, right. So, this question they have set up from this chapter. So, then whatever the theoretical aspects that you have learned relating to that chapter should come to your mind, right. So, then only you can answer this question easily, right. Fine. Read the question and understand the requirement of the examiner. So, then we will discuss this question is related to which chapter, what is the theory that they have explained in that chapter, right. Fine. Following information is available for a sole trader who keeps no records, no accounting records. So, when you heard this word called no accounting record, what is the chapter? Incomplete records. So, with limited information that you have, how do you figure out maybe financial statement or sometimes profit? So, this kind of questions examiner will test and ask you to calculate the proprietor's profit or the closing capital or else the opening capital. So, those aspects examiner will test. We will see what they have tested in this question. Net assets at the beginning of the year they have given and the net asset at the end of the year they have given. During the year ended June 2015, cash drawings by proprietor they have given, which means drawings. Additional capital introduced by proprietor have been given. Business cash used to buy a car for the proprietor's wife who takes no part in the business, which is also a drawing. Using the information, what is traders profit for the year ended June 2015? That is what I told you. This is incomplete records. So, then you have to use what? Accounting equation, right, or else net asset equation to figure out the answer for this question, right. Fine. So, then what we have learned during theoretical sessions in our webinar series, we discuss opening net asset plus new capital introduced by proprietor, right, plus profit, right, plus profit minus drawings equal for what? Closing capital. So, this is the net asset equation that we have learned, right. Basically, you have opening net asset, which means asset minus liabilities. When you introduce new capital, you have to add that to the opening capital. To derive what? Your intention is to get closing capital. So, then new capital you have to add. From P&L, profit for the year also will be added to where? Shareholders funds or proprietors fund. So, from that amount also your net asset will be increased. Why? Because you are going to figure out closing capital. And whatever the drawings, if you withdraw capital, so from that figure your closing capital will be reduced. To figure out closing capital, this is the equation, right, very simple. Opening plus new capital plus profit minus drawings equal closing capital. Now, you apply numbers. So, opening capital how much you have? 186,000. New capital they have introduced during the additional capital introduced by proprietor 68,000. Profit we don't know, X. Drawings they have given drawings by proprietor 68,000, sorry, new capital actually additional capital 50,000. Here 68,000. In addition to that, right, in addition to that, proprietor's cash, withdraw cash to buy a car to his wife, which is 20,000. That amount equal to 20,000. The closing capital also they have given, right, 274,000. Now X equal how much? You have to calculate it. So then 186,000 plus 50,000 minus 68,000 minus 20,000, 274,000 minus this answer 126,000. So profit for the year 126,000. Do we have answer equal to this amount? Yes. So then answer is what? A. Answer is A. So this question is one of the common question that your examiner can be tested in this journey. Right? We don't have experience of handling MCQ question, much more MCQ questions related to CA exams. Why? Because this is the second time you are facing to MCQ type of exam in this journey, when I say in this journey Sri Lanka. But this is one of the common question that ACCA and some other examiners in some other exams they are testing. Therefore, most of these questions are from those professional exams that I have taken here. Therefore, your examiner also can be tested this kind of questions in a frequent way, right? Fine. So then question number, next question. Read the question. The receivable ledger control account below contain several incorrect entries. So receivable ledger control account contains several incorrect entries. Some of the entries that they have passed to this chart of account incorrect. Examiner asking what? What is the closing balance when all these entries are corrected? Someone has prepared this chart of account, but that consists of what? Incorrect entries. We have to correct it, right? Receivable control account. Receivable control account, right? So each and every transactions that they have passed to this chart of account, we have to go through carefully, and we need to figure out the closing balance with the correct double entries if they have made a mistake when they pass to this chart of account. Opening balance fine, which is in the debit side, how much? 138,400. 138,400. So then in debit side they have mentioned another 78,420 cash received from customers. When you receive cash from customer, what should be the double entry? Cash debit, and it should be credit to a debtors control account. But they have debited that amount to this account, which is completely wrong. So then cash entry should go to other side. Cash received 78,420. 78,420. Only two entries are there in the debit side of the given chart of account. If you go to other side, credit sales. Credit sale එක කොහොමද අපි රෙකෝඩ් කරන්නේ? Sales credit data ණයගැතිය මොකද වෙන්න ඕනේ? Debit වෙන්න ඕනේ. But they have credited that amount to control account, which is completely wrong. So therefore, sales you have to take into debit side. Sales අපි ගන්නවා debit side එකට. කීයද? 80,660. Contrast against credit balance in payable ledger. Right? Payable ledger එකේ තියෙන credit balance එක contrast කරනවා. You have to be mindful. You have to think twice before you deal with this kind of transactions. Now look at contrast set off කරලා against credit balance in payable ledger. Payable ledger එකේ තියෙන credit balance එකක්. ඒකට contrast වෙන්න නම් payable එකට මොකද වැටෙන්න ඕනේ? debit entry එක. Right? Payable එකට වැටෙන්න ඕනේ debit entry එක. Payable එකට debit entry එකක් වැටෙනකොට receivable එකට මොකද වෙන්න ඕනේ? Credit entry එක. So then this 1000 should be correct. That is the way you should think. Set off. Entry how much? 1000. Set off entry. Right? දේවා මේ වගේ දේවල් කන්ෆියුස් වෙන්න බෑ. බලන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා ඔයාගේ අනිත් account එකේ payable account එකේ මොන balance එකක් එකද set off කරලා තියෙන්නේ? credit balance එකක්. credit balance එකේ තියෙන credit side එකේ. ඒක set off වෙන්න නම් එතන credit account එකේ payable account එකේ to that payable account it should be debited. එහෙනම් එතන debit වෙනකොට මෙතන මොකද වෙන්න ඕනේ? credit. That's the double entry. Then only you can contrast a set of it, which is correct. Discount allowed to customer. Discount allowed to credit customer irrecoverable debt write off. Irrecoverable debt write off කරලා. So then debt එකේ තියෙන මොන පැත්තේද? debtors ලා කොයි පැත්තේද? credit customers ලා debit side. When you write off it, irrecoverable debt write off කියන මොකද? data balance එක අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙනම් discount allowed or the P&L debit credit to this chart of account, credit control account, because write off means you have to recognize where in the P&L. P&L debit වෙනකොට credit වෙන්නේ කොහෙද? data balance එක අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ. To reduce data balance, it should be credited to where? Debtors control account. Right? Write off. How much? 1950. 1950. Right? Okay. Sorry, 3000, no? 3000. Discount allowed. Sorry, there are two transactions here, right? Discount, irrecoverable debt write-off, what I will discuss. Discount allowed to credit customers. Discount allowed. So you have sold some amount of goods to a credit customer. Now you are giving discount. When you give them a discount, you are receiving less amount of money, which means your receivable balance should be reduced by that amount. Then discount. Also what? Credit. 1950. These are two different transactions, right? Sorry. This is not check from credit customer. Customer has given a check, but that is what? Dishonored check. ඇත්තටම හොඳ චෙක් එකක් හම්බුණා ඩෙබිට් බැලන්ස් එක මොකද වෙන්න ඕනේ? dishonored checks from credit customer. අපිට හම්බෙලා තියෙන මොකද්ද? dishonored check එකක්. එහෙනම් ඇත්තටම මේක data balance එක අඩු වෙන්නයි ඕනේ. හොඳ check එකක් හම්බුණා නම්. But this is what? Dishonored check. Therefore debit balance එක අඩු data balance එක අඩු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද වෙන්නේ ඇත්තටම? වැඩි වෙනවා. check. How much? මේ මොකද? ඇයි මේක ඩෙබිට් පැත්තට එන්නේ? මොකද මේක ඉස්සෙල්ලා අපි රෙකෝඩ් කරලා තිනවා ක්‍රෙඩිට් කරලා. ඩේටා බැලන්ස් එක අඩු කරගෙන ඉතලා මොකද චෙක් එකක් හම්බුණා කියන්නේ කෑෂ් හම්බුණා හා සමානයි. එහෙනම් අපි ඩේටා බැලන්ස් එක අඩු කරගෙන තියෙන ක්‍රෙඩිට් කරගෙන. හැබැයි ඒක මොන චෙක් එකක්ද? වැලිඩ් චෙක් එකක් නෙමෙයි. Therefore again you have to debit into this account. Fine. So then they have given closing balance. Now there you have to figure out the correct closing balance. The given closing balance is not valid. බලන්න closing balance එක. Opening balance plus sales plus check 219 9 10 19 9 10, right, minus 78,420 minus 1000 minus 3000 minus 1950. So answer is what? 135,540. බලන්න මෙහෙම balance එක answer එකක් තියෙනවද කියලා? 135,540. Yes, there is an answer like this. Answer is what? B. The correct answer is B. Question number 7. So when you read this question, what should come to your mind? A limited liability company's trial balance does not balance. Trial balance එක balance වෙන්නේ නැල්ලු. එන වාට එන account එක මොකද්ද? Suspend account. Suspense account එක එන්නේ ඇයි trial balance එක tally වෙන්නේ නැත්තම්. So there, which means double entries අපි හරියට pass කරලා නැහැ. You must understand double entry means debit and the credit. Even though you by a mistake, let's say mistakenly, if you pass debit entry to another account, let's say to incorrect account, and the credit account to another incorrect account, as far as wherever you put debit and credit, trial balance will tally. Then you don't want suspend account. අවිනිශ්චිත ගිණුමක් අපිට ඕනි වෙන්නේ නැහැ කොහේ හරි තැනකවත් debit credit දාලා තියෙනවා. ඒ debit credit එක වැරදි accounts වලට ගිහිලා තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, but you have followed double entry rule, debit and credit. Therefore there is no impact to the trial balance. හොඳ උදාහරණයක් මම කිව්වොත්, let's say you purchase motor vehicle. I'm talking about the theory part of this. Motor vehicles on cash. So then what should be double entry? Asset account should be debit, cash should be credit. Cash ඉලිට යනවා, asset එක වැඩි වෙනවා. Instead of debit into the asset account, you let's say debit into repair and maintenance. Trial balance එක impact එකක් තියෙනවද? No impact to the trial balance. Because you have followed double entry rule. හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. Double entry කියන rule එක ඔයා follow කරලා තියෙනවා. But the entry is wrong. Actually you should be debited into asset account. Instead of asset account, you have debited into expense account, repair and maintenance. There is no impact to the financial trial balance. Profit will be wrong. Asset can be understated. Those impacts are there, but there is no impact to the trial balance. In that situation, suspense account will not required. ඒක තමයි කතා කරපු theory part එක. accounting entry න්‍යායාත්මකව වැරදුනත් debit හෝ credit කියන debit හා credit කියන rule එක ඔයා follow කරලා තියෙනවා නම් there is no impact to what? Trial balance. හැබැයි if you made a mistake when you pass debit and credit, when I say mistake, let's say debit entry you put for 1000 and credit to 2000, then debit and credit දැම්මට balance නෑ, එකම amount එක නෙමෙයි. Then you require what? Suspense account. ඇයි? trial balance එක tally වෙන්නේ නැත. ඔයාගේ debit amount එකයි credit amount එකයි වැරදුනොත්, සමාන නොවුනොත්, වැරදුන කියන්නේ සමාන නොවුනොත්, ඔයාගේ trial balance එක tally වෙන්නේ නැහැ වෙලාවට මොකද ඕනේ වෙන්නේ? Suspense account එක. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයා debit and credit follow නොකර, let's say purchase of motor vehicle, you debit to asset account and debit to repair and maintenance. දෙකම debit. Credit entry එකක් නැහැ. So then trial balance tally වෙන්නේ නැත. ඒ වෙලාවටත් ඔයාලට මොකද වෙන්නේ? Suspense account එකක් ඕන වෙනවා. That is what we have discussed. Keep that in your mind and look at this question. A limited liability company trial balance does not match. The totals are debit side total they have given and the credit side total they have given, right? Now they are asking, suspense account is open for difference, you must open. Which of the following pair of errors could clear the balance on the suspense account when corrected? Look at this, very important question. These are the questions that your examiner can be tested. මේවා තමයි questions ඔයාගේ examiner test කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි සරලයි. විසඳුම හරි සරලයි. Right? You have debit side amount how much? 384,030. 30. මෙන්න debit side account total එක trial balance එකේ. Credit side how much? 398,580. 398,580. What is the difference? Credit side එක වැඩි. 398,580 minus 384,030. So you have a difference of 14,550. For this you have to open what? Suspense account. Suspense account and put it to a what side? Debit side. Because දැන් අඩුව මොන පැත්තේද debit side එකේ. Credit side එකේ තියෙනවා ඒක. Credit side එක වැඩි. In the difference එක මොකද trial balance එක tally කරගන්න suspense account එක දාලා 14,550 the difference should debit to where? Suspense account. දැන් බලන්න question එක. Which of the following pair of error could clear the balance on the suspense account when corrected? Debit side of cash undercast by 10,000. Cash account එක understate වෙලා තියෙනවලු. Cash කීයකින්ද? 10,000 වලින්. එහෙනම් 10,000 තව add වෙන්න ඕන මොකද පැත්තටද? Cash. Right? Correction. How much? 10,000. Credit to where? Suspense account. Cash. So this is how do you correct this error, because double entry they have not passed properly. Somewhere they have made a mistake. That's why cash balance understated by 10,000. Therefore, to get into the right cash position, you have to add another 10,000 to cash, which means you have to debit, and that should be credited to suspense account. Then 6,160 paid for rent correctly entered in the cash book. Cash book e credit කරලා හරියට. Right? But entered in the rent account as 1,610. මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? Rent pay කරලා තියෙනවා how much? 6,160. Right? But mistakenly they have entered it as 1,610. What is the difference? අඩුවේ record කරලා cash book එකේ හරියට දාලා තියෙනවලු. In cash book they have passed this entry properly. 6,160 minus 1,610. 4,550 they have recorded less in where? Rent account. Rent account එකේ දාලා තියෙන amount එක අඩුයි. එනේ පැත්තට තමයි වැඩි කරන්න ඕනේ. Correction. 4,550. Credit to where? Rent. 4,550. දැන් බලන්න main thing හරියනවද මේ suspense account එක clear වෙනවද? Clear වෙනවා නම් B, C, D do we need to look at? No. Yes, it is nullifying. 14,550. Here also 14,550. Don't wait till you figure out all the answers. One by one check whether suspense account get clear or not. If it is clearing, no need to read even B, C and D. So fortunately, the correct answer is there at the top. If it is at the bottom, let's say the correct answer is D, so then you have to work both, all A, B, C before you figure out the correct answer, which is D. එහෙම වුණොත් එහෙම. දැන් මේ වෙලාවේ වාගේ answer එක ඒකෙම හරියන හින්දා no need to look at what? B, C, D. The correct answer is what? A. So when you pass this 2 double entries, your suspense account will be cleared. මොකක්ද learning outcome එක? Right? The learning outcome is what? Suspense account එක open වෙන්නේ ඔයාගේ trial balance එක tally නොවුනොත්. ඇයි trial balance එක tally වෙන්නේ නැත්තේ? ඔයා double entry දාන වෙලාවේ amounts වල වරදක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ debit amount එකට වඩා credit amount එක වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. or else credit එකකට වඩා debit එක වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් එක entry එකක් විතරක් record කරලා තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. Only you have recorded debit or the credit entry. You have missed one entry from double entry. එහෙම නැත්නම් debit credit දෙකම එක පැත්තේ තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. මෙන්න මේවා තමයි reasons for you to have a difference in where trial balance. අනේ වෙලාවේ විතරයි suspense account එක open වෙන්නේ. That is the theory. You need to understand. කොයිම වෙලාවකවත් වැරදි account එකට ගියාට double entry debit credit හරි නම් එනසේ double entry debit credit හරි කොහේ හරි තැනකට debit credit වෙලා තියෙනවා වැරදි account වලට උනත් ඒක correct කරන්න correction of errors correct කරන්න වට suspense account එක ඕනේ නේද? නෑ. double entry reverse කරපුවම හරියනවා ඒක. suspense account එක ඕනේ වෙන්නේ මම අර මුලින් කියපු අවස්ථාවවලදී විතරයි. ඔය හිතනදී හැම එකක්ම correct කරන්න අපිට suspense account එක ඕනේ නේද? නෑ. අන්න ඒක තමයි learning outcome එක. සියලුම errors correct කරන්න අපිට suspense account ඕනේ වෙන්නේ නෑ. හැබැයි debit credit වැරදියට හරි එක entry එකක් miss වෙලා හරි එකම entry debit credit එකම පැත්තේ දාලා තියෙනවා නම් අන්න ඒ වෙලාවට trial balance එක tally නොවෙනවා. ඒ වෙලාවට suspense account එකක් ඕන වෙනවා. Understand? Question number 8. Which of the following items could appear in company statements of cash flows? දෙවට තේරෙනවනේ මේක question bank එකේ එක chapter එකකට සීමා වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So different chapters they have tested. That's the beauty. ඒතර ඔයාලට බලන්න පුළුවන් එක එක chapters වලට තියෙන ඔයාගේ knowledge level එක. Right? Important. Surplus or revaluation of non-current assets. Cash flow එකේ statement එකේ තියෙනවද? No. Because revaluation is not represent cash flows and there is no impact to P&L even. Cash flow නොවන හැම එකම cash flow statement දෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා එකක් නැහැනේ. මොකද when you prepare cash flow statement by using indirect method, whatever the depreciation, profit of disposal of fixed asset also you are adjusting, but those are not cash flows. But since those are in profit and loss account, you do some adjustments because we are starting from profit before tax. Profit before tax එකේ නම් non cash expenses ඔක්කොම ටික ඒක ඇතුළේ තියෙනවා eliminate කරනවා. හැබැයි surplus on revaluation of non current assets ඒක P&L එකට ගිහිල්ලා නැහැ. ඒ වෙන කොහෙද? changes in equity. Right? Therefore, we are not dealing with surplus on revaluation of non current assets. Cash flow statement එක විලාත් මේවා equation එක කතා කරලා තියෙනවා. Right? You have to understand. දැන් සමහර කෙනෙක් හිතන්න පුළුවන් දැන් profit on disposal එනවා cash flow statement එකට. ඒ surplus revaluation surplus එක නැත්තේ. හරි සරලයි. මොකද profit before tax එකෙන් indirect method එක පටන් ගත්තට පස්සේ cash flow statement එක හදන්න we are not adjusting revaluation to that account, P&L account. But depreciation, profit or loss in loss on disposal of fixed asset, you are adjusting. That's why those will reflect in cash flows, but not revaluation surplus, right? Ekenne prepayment of long term borrowing. Yes, prepayment. Repayment, loan repayment, financing activities will reflect. Bonus issue of shares. When you issue bonus shares, will you take cash inflows to the business? No. There's no cash generation when you issue bonus shares. It's simply capitalization of retained earnings. Retained earnings था बहुत ही bonus issues करने. Retained earnings वलिंग गालवाला share capital add करनो. Cash the business करनो. Interest received, investment activity. Or else sometimes you adjust into operational cash flow, that depends. But anyway, it is what? Reflect in cash flow statement. So therefore, Roman number 2 and Roman number 4 reflect in cash flow statement. Roman number 2 and 4 is there under the answer D. So the correct answer is what? D, for 2 marks. Question number 9. Look at it. The following information is available for Osset, a sole trader who does not keep full accounting records. Again, examiner is testing the knowledge of what? Incomplete record, right? Based on the figures, what is the sale figure for the year ended 30th June 2015? They have given you opening inventories 1st July 2004 and the closing inventories they have given June 30th June 2005. Purchase made during the year they have given, and also make the standard gross profit of 30%. This is also one common question that your examiner can be tested, right? Fine. So then you have to conceptualize, or else you have to map the flow first when you handle these kind of questions. That is my advice. That is what the learning outcome here, right? Sale එකනවා, then cost of sales. අව අපේ target එක මොකද derive කරන්න? Sales figure. අපි දන්නේ නැහැ. Somewhere here we will derive, right? Blank. අපි දන්නේ නැහැ. මේක තමයි අපි හොයාගන්න යන්නේ. Right? Cost of sales ගන්නකොට opening inventory plus purchase minus closing inventory, closing balance inventory. එතකොට ඔයාලට මෙතන cost of sales, මෙතන gross profit. මෙන්න මේක conceptualize කරගන්න. දැන් මේක numbers ටිකකින් set කරන්න. Very simple. Opening inventory 138,600. 138,600. Purchases they have given how much? 716,100. Closing inventory also they have given 149,100 minus. You can figure out 138,600 plus 716,100 minus 149,100. So the cost of sales 705,600. So this is the cost of sales. Now they are telling, based on the figures, Osset makes a standard gross profit of the 30% on sales. Gross profit එකෙන්නේ කොහමද? 30% of sales. එහෙනම් මේක 30% නම් sale එක 100 වෙන්න ඕනේ. 100 වුණොත් 30% 100% වෙන sale. එහෙනම් cost of sales කීයද? 70%. හරිනේ? gross sale එකෙන් 30% profit එක. එහෙනම් cost of sale කීයද? 100. sorry 70 simple අමාරුද නෑ මෙහෙම යාලා margins ටික තියන්නේ sale එකෙන් 30% එහෙනම් sale එක 100 වලින් 30% gross profit වෙනවා balance 70% එහෙනම් මේක 70% මේක 70 වෙනවනේ cost of sales කියන්නේ 70 ලු 7 මේක 7 අපිට එන්නේ කීයද 100 divide by 7 into 100 then you will derive what sales figure 705,600 divide by 70 into 100 sale එකේනවා 1,08,000 sale is how much 1,08,000 බලන්න මේ ආන්සර් එකක් තියෙනවද කියලා yes answer is what correct answer is D so then gross profit also if you want you can figure out but no need why examiner is not worrying about gross profit ඉතින් මෙන්න මේ conceptual concept එක මේ විදිහට conceptualize කරොත් මේක හරි අමාරු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි මේ exams pass වෙන්න හැබැයි මේ theory එක sale එකෙන් කොහොමද cost of sale එක තියෙනවා cost of sale කොහොමද derive කරගන්නේ margins කොහොමද apply කරගන්නේ මෙන්න මේවා කියන එක specially you must understand මේ ඔක්කොම කරයි මේක හරියට ඔලුවට ගියේ නැත්නම් වැඩේ අමාරුයි this is what you need to learn here මේක තමයි ඔයාගේ learning එක මෙතන right because ඒකට කියලා තියෙනවා they make standard gross profit 30% on sales එහෙනම් cost of sales 70% වෙනවා cost of sales 75% වෙනවා කියන්නේ 70 වෙනවා කියන්නේ sale එක මේක ගන්න right fine question number 10 at 1st July 2014 a company had prepaid insurance 8,200 on 1st January 2005 the company paid 38,000 for insurance for the year 30th September 2005 what figure should appear for insurance in the company's financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2005 so this is very simple question again but you have to be mindful පාඩ පොඩ්ඩක් කල්පනා කරන්න ඕනේ මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් හැන්ඩල් කරගන්නකොට කලබල වුණොත් වැඩේ කරන්න අමාරුයි one shot උත්තර figure out කරගන්න why because ඔයා දන්නා මේ ප්‍රශ්නයකට හම්බෙන්නේ විනාඩි කීයද 2.4යි right මේ dates ගැන මේක තමයි learning එක මෙතන තියෙන මේ dates ගැන හරියටම කල්පනා කරන්න ඕනේ දැන් අපෙන් අහන්නේ කවද්ද what is the figure should appear for insurance for the in the financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2005 30th June 2000 let's say 15 of 5 30th June 2015 let's say දැන් අපිට දීලා තියෙන figures මොනවද 1st July 2014 අපිට දීලා තියෙනවා 1st July ඒ කියන්නේ beginning of the year right beginning of the 1st July 2014 කීයද prepayment එකක් තියෙනවලු right prepaid insurance 8,200 8,200ක් තියෙනවා 1st January the company paid 38,000 insurance for the year for the insurance 38,000 for insurance for the year to 30th September 2015 1st January 2015 they have paid how much 38,000 38,000 pre insurance කියන්නේ prepaid month එකකට නේ ගෙවන්නේ sorry අවුරුද්දටම ගෙවන්නේ එහෙනම් මෙතන කීයද 38,000 divided by 12 මාසයකට වෙනවා sorry yeah 38,000 divided by 12 38,000 divided by 12 तर මාසික වාරිකයක් වෙනවා කීයද 3,066.67 මේක තමයි එක මාසෙක දැන් මේක ගෙවන්නේ for the year ended කවද්දද for the year to 30th September 2005. September 2005 වලට එනකල්. එහෙනම් අපි හදන්නේ කොච්චරද? 30th June 2015 වලට. right? එහෙනම් අපිට මේ ගෙවන ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් එක ඉවර වෙන්නේ කවදද? 30th September 2015. මේකේ ප්‍රීපේමන්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා කොච්චරද දෙනා? මාස 3ක. මේ ගෙවපේකේ ප්‍රීපේමන්ට් එක කීයද මාස 3නේ? මොකද අපි හදන්නේ 30th June වලටනේ. එහෙනම් ජූන් ඉවරම ජුලයි, ඕගස්ට්, සෙප්තැම්බර්. ජුලයි, ඕගස්ට්, සෙප්තැම්බර් වෙනකල් මේක ගෙවනවා. එහෙනම් මේ ගෙවන එක ඇතුලේ 3 months ප්‍රීපේමන්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා. ප්‍රීපේමන්ට්. එහෙනම් මාසක 3167.67 into 3 කීයද? 9500. එහෙනම් ප්‍රීපේමන්ට් එක 9500. එහෙනම් 38000 minus 9500 ප්‍රීපේමන්ට් එකක් වෙනවා. අවුරුද්දට එන්නේ කීයද? 28500 plus this prepayment මුලින් තිබ්බේ මේ අවුරුද්දේ එක්ස්පෙන්ස් වෙනවා. 8200 36700. 36700 should be the P&L amount because මේ amount එක අපි P&L එකට charge කරන්න වෙනවා. මේක prepayment එක අවුරුද්ද මුල තියෙන එක. ඒතකොට prepayment එක මේ අවුරුද්දේ ගිය අවුරුද්දේ prepayment එක කරලා තියෙන මේ අවුරුද්දේ. එහෙනම් 8200 මේ අවුරුද්දේ expense වෙනවා. 38,000 වලින් 3 months prepayment එකක් තියෙන. ඊටු 9 months කොහෙද? මේ අවුරුද්දේ. right? එහෙනම් මේ 9 months සහ prepayment එක තුනම P&L එකට එනවා 38600. prepayment එක තුන balance sheet එකේ 9500. බලන්න එහෙම answer එකක් තියෙනවද? first answer no, second answer එකත් වැරදි, third answer 36700 හරි, prepayment 9500 මෙන්න answer එක. දැන් ඕක හරියට තේරුම් ගත්තේ නැත්නම් ඕක calculation එක එල්ලෙලා ඉන්න exam එකේ. this is the advice I want to give you. මේ හරියට මේ dates ටික හරියට smartly figure out කරේ නැත්නම් මේක හරි උත්තරේ ගන්න 3-4 පාරක් calculate කරනවා. That is not the case. You must follow. You understand the logic properly. Don't worry about the given answers. You try to figure out your answer. When your answer is matched with this, it's perfect. It should be correct. Or else in other way you can work out this 38,000 නැත්නම් මේවත් කරන්න පුළුවන් 38,000 divide by 12 into 12 into 9. එතකොට එන්නේ මොකද්ද? මෙන්න මේ ආන්සර් එක 28500. මේ මාස 9 එක. එතකොට මාස 3ක් ගත්තොත් මෙන්න prepayment එක. That's the way we have followed. Right? ඔක තමයි උත්තරේ. Fine. Question number 11. That is from what? Which of the following statements are correct? මොකද්ද correct statement කියලා අහන්නේ. So read it. Which of the following statements are correct? A liability is a present obligation, right? Liability is a present obligation arising from past event, the settlement of which expected to result in cash outflows of economic resources. According to new conceptual framework that we have discussed, right? New conceptual framework that we have discussed, this is correct. Right? This is correct. A liability is a present obligation arising from past event. The settlement of that liability will be cash economic resource outflow, which is correct. An uncertain liability may be called a provision. Correct or wrong? Yes, provision is what? A provision is a liability of uncertain what? Time in and the amount. Time, when you are going to pay and how much you are going to pay, that is uncertain. But it is, if it is probable, with that uncertainty, timing and the amount, you recognize as what? A liability in your balance sheet. That is also correct. Right? Third one, contingent liability is recognized in the financial statement. Correct or wrong? No. LKS 37 we have discussed. Provisions, contingent assets and contingent liabilities. The summary of that session is what? Provision is a liability. Why? Because it arises from past event and you have present obligation. The settlement of that obligation will result in what? Economic benefit outflows. Here, provision is a liability. But you have to understand, this is uncertain. Why? Because when you are going to pay, it's not determined still, and how much you are going to pay, you can reliably estimate it. Right? You have information for that. But that is also uncertain. Therefore, we identify it as what? Provision. Then provision and liability, the difference is what is the difference between provision is a liability, but what is the difference between liability and the provision? The liability is trade payable. What is the difference between trade payables and the provision for pending litigation? There is no uncertainty when it's come to timing and the amounts for what? Trade payables. It's a liability. Methanadi provision is a liability, but the problem is what? Timing and the amount is uncertain. But both you will recognize where? Profit and balance sheet as a liability, right? In the financial statement basically, not in the balance sheet only. You will charge it to P&L also, but you will recognize both in the balance sheet. But contingent asset and the contingent liabilities, contingent. Economic outflows are not probable, contingent. Both contingent asset and contingent liabilities we are not recognized in the financial statement, but we will disclose. Therefore, third one is wrong. The statement number Roman number 1 and Roman number 2 are correct, which reflect in answer what? B. The correct answer is B. Then D, question number 12. Alpha buys goods from beta at 30th June 2015. Beta's account in alpha's record shows 5,700 owing to beta. Beta submitted the statement to alpha at the same date, showing the balance due of how much? 5,200. Which of the following could account fully for the difference? Here what you should learn, alpha beta kila kawalan karala receivable kaageda payable kaageda kila anduragana tek amaru ekaparam. You have to be careful. Anna etanadi. E hinda oluwe tiyagana mewa karanne yanna epa. Take a piece of paper and work out this. Alright? Clearly work out it. So we have to have two entities book, alpha and beta. Alpha's book and beta's book. Balanna කොහොමද තියෙන්නේ කියලා. Alpha buy goods from beta. Right? Alpha තමයි purchase කරන්නේ. එහෙනම් මෙයාගේ payable වෙන්න ඕනේ. අන්න ඒක හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න. Alpha's account B should be what? A creditor. At June 2000 එහෙනම් අනිත් එක කවුද? Beta එන receivable. මේවා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් බලන්න කොහොමද books වල තියෙන්නේ කියලා. At 30th June, beta's account in alpha's record. Beta's account in alpha's record. Alpha ki books wala. There's a payable amount 5,700. Alpha ki account wala thiyena mokada 5,700 payable account ya. Payable amount එක. Beta submit the statement. Beta දෙනවා receivable එක statement එක. Look here alpha, this much you have to pay for me. How much? The same date showing balance of 5,200. There's a difference of how much? 500. There's a difference of 500. කාගේද වැඩි? payable පැත්තේ වැඩි receivable පැත්ත අඩුයි. receivable අඩුයි. මොකද්ද ඩිෆරන්ස් එකට හේතුව කියලා අහන්නේ. බලන්න එකිනෙක කියවලා. හරි උත්තරය අපව නවත්තන්න. Which of the following could account fully for the difference? Alpha has sent a check to beta. Alpha has sent a check to beta. Alpha check එකක් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා betaට for 500 which has not yet been received to beta. ඒක වෙන්න බෑනේ. alpha check එකක් ඇවුවොත් මෙයාගේ balance එක අඩු වෙලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි මෙතන ප්‍රශ්නේ alpha ගේ balance එක වැඩි. answer A wrong. ඒකෙන් හරියන්නේ නැහැ ඒක. B the credit side of beta's account. එහෙනම් මෙයා beta's තියෙන දැන් debit side එකේ තියෙන receivable නේ. credit side of beta's account in alpha's record. හරිනේ. beta's account in alpha's record. මෙයාගේ credit balance එක. right? has been undercast by 500. මේක undercast ලු නෑ. ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ මේ පැත්තේ වැඩි එක. overcast වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් B එකත් වැරදි. C the invoice 250 from beta has been treated in alpha's record. invoice එක දීලා තිනවා beta alphaට 250 recorded in its credit note. Treated it alpha's record as what if it had been a credit note. මෙයා credit note එකක් දුන්නා කියලා හිතන්නේ නෑ මේක තව අඩු වෙන්න ඕන. කීයකින්ද? 250 වලින්. ඒත් මේකට ඇලි වෙන්නේ නෑ. 500 difference එක. D beta has issued a credit note. beta credit note එකක් issue කරලා තියෙනවා. alpha debit note එකක් දීලා ඇති. ඒකට credit note එකක් issue කරලා තියෙනවා. right? issued credit note to alpha which alpha not yet received. මෙයා credit note එකක් දීලා මෙයා අඩු කරගෙන 500 වලින්. හැබැයි මෙයා අඩු කරේ not yet received. එහෙනම් මෙයා මේක අඩු කරගන්න ඕනි. එහෙනම් answer is what? D. මෙයා මේක අඩු කරගෙන නැති නිසා account කරලා නැති නිසා තාම මෙයාගේ payable balance එක how much? 5700. So then what is the learning outcome? කවුද payable? කවුද receivable balance එකක් තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ කියන එක හරියට figure out කරගන්න ඕනේ. That's number 1. මේ දෙක පටල ගත්තොත් it is very difficult for us to figure out the reason for the difference. Then you would have to understand කාගේද වැඩිපුර තියෙන්නේ? payable පැත්ත වැඩි. එහෙනම් payable පැත්ත වැඩි වෙන්නේ හේතු හොයාගෙන ගියා නම් you can figure out the answer properly. Next question. Which of the following material event that took place after the reporting period? LKS 10 event after reporting period. Right? අපි කතා කරාද මේක? ඔව් මිස් ස්ටෑන්ඩ් කතා කරා. Reporting date but before financial statement were approved. The summary is what? Quickly I will summarize. Right? Summarize. Event after reporting period means this is financial reporting date. Reporting date. Let's say 31st March 2020. Financial statement approved date. Let's say 30th March 2000, sorry, June 2020. Whatever the events occurred between these 2 days we identify as what? Event after reporting period. Some of these events will be adjust. Some of them will be not adjust. Sometimes not adjust, disclose. That is what we have discussed. Right? All the events occurred between these 2 days. How do we adjust? Why do we adjust? These events occurred after reporting period will provide evidence to this date. Right? Some of them are not. So then you will not adjust. Examples that we have discussed. Debtor bankrupt. මෙදා හිටපු debtor කෙනෙක් තමයි bankrupt උනේ. එහෙනම් evidence provide කරනවා. You will have to adjust. Fire එකක්. මෙදාට දන්නවද fire එකක් වෙනවද කියලා? නැහැ. Not adjust, disclose. right? Another example, errors, frauds, you have to adjust. Why? Because those balances are there in this balance sheet. That is what we have discussed. ප්‍රශ්නේ මොකද්ද? But therefore financial statement, but before financial statement were approved, a non-adjusting when applying IAS 10 event after reporting period, which means LKS 10. Right? අපෙන් අහන්නේ which of the following material event took place after reporting period but before financial statement approved are non-adjusting. මොනවද non-adjusting events කියලායි අහන්නේ. Right? Number 1. Inventory held at the reporting date was sold less than cost. Inventory held on reporting date. මෙදාට තියෙන inventory balance එකක් you have sold less than the cost. That will provide evidence to this date. Therefore, you have to what? Adjust. Make adjusting event එකක්. එහෙනම් පළවෙනි උත්තරේ අපිට අදාළ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක adjusting event එකක්, not non-adjusting event. We have to identify non-adjusting events. Capital raised by issuing shares at a premium. Share premium කියනවා දැන් නේද? Share issues, let's say. Share issue එකක් after reporting period. Are we going to adjust to this date? No. That is non-adjusting event. It's new share issue. Right? Third one, a company recognized which results in discontinuing a line of activity producing 25% of its profit. 25% of its profit. We are not adjusting. You are going to disclose it. Right? Fourth one, the settlement of claim for compensation from a former employee wrongly dismissed just before the reporting period. Because that case was there in the reporting date. Now you have settled that case and you have to settle paying that amount to that employee. Therefore, you have to go and adjust. So, event number Roman number 1 and 4 adjusting events. Roman number 2 and 3 are not adjusting events. Those are non-adjusting events. So, the Roman number 2 and 3 reflect where? In answer D. The correct answer is what? D. Question number 15. A company sublet part of its office accommodation in the year ended 30th June 2015. Cash received from tenant was 83,700. The detail of rent in arrears and in advance at the beginning and end of the year were given below. All arrears of rent were subsequently received. Whatever the arrears they have received subsequently. Which figure for rent income should be included in the company's statement of profit and loss account? Very simple question again. Right? Calculator use කරලා ගණන් හදන්න කලින් be careful to have this chart of account in your piece of paper. Piece of paper එක කරන chart of account එක ගහලා බලන්න. එතකොට වරද්ද ගන්නෑ. Rent. At the beginning of the year arrears එකක් තියෙනවා. in arrears. Payable එකක් නේ arrears. අපිට rent income එකක් මේ ගැන කතා කරන්න වෙනවා නේ. Cash received කියලා අපිට rent expense නේ income එක. arrears එක ගැන හම්බෙන්න තියෙන එකක්. receivable එකක්. opening balance එකක් තියෙනවා 33,800. be careful ඒක arrears කියලා කොට වයිතයි right. එහෙනම් pay කරන්න තියෙන එකක් ඒක. එහෙනම් payable එකක්. no. මේක කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? A company sublet part of the office accommodation of its office accommodation. එහෙනම් rent income එකක් එන්නේ. එහෙනම් arrears කියන්නේ receivable part එකක්. in advance අපිට කලින් හම්බෙලා තියෙනවා. opening balance එකක් තියෙනවා ඒකෙත්. how much? in advance එකක් තියෙනවා 2,400. 2,400. මේක at the beginning of the year situation. At the end of the year in arrears receivable එකක් තියෙනවා 4700. එහෙනම් closing balance එකක් එකනේ. එහෙනම් carry down. මොකද මේක receivable එකක් නේ ඊළඟ අවුරුද්දට. එහෙනම් brought forward වෙනවා කීයද? 4700. ඒකයි මෙතන credit පැත්තට යන්නේ. ඇත්තටම next year එකට opening balance receivable එක. other side of it advance එක brought forward balance එකක් වෙනවා කීයද? 3000 carried down වෙන්නේ මෙතනින් 3000. Right? So then these are the balances for next year, opening balance. Similar to this, opening balances for next year. Right? Now they have received cash how much? 83,700 and cash debit here credit 83,700. දැන් අපි අහනවා what is the amount you are charged to P&L? P&L එකට යන ගාන. Here debit credit to P&L where? Why? Income එකක්. P&L credit වෙන්න ඕනි. Here it's debit. How much? 2,400 plus 83,700 plus 4,700. 90,800. 90,800 minus 3,000 minus 3,800. 84,000. 84,000. So this much you should charge to where? Profit and loss account as rent income. Here debit, credit to there. Eva answer එකක් තියෙනවද? Yes. Answer A is the correct answer. 84,000. Right? මේක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. Rent income එකක්. Some of you will figure out in other way around. මේක කොහොම balance මාරු කරලා expense එකක් ලිතයි. නෑ. මේක income එකක්. That should be clearly understand. Next question. At 30th June 2014, a company allowance for receivable. Very important chapter again. Allowance for receivable. Right? එතනත් අපි කතා කරානේ. වෙනම chapter එකක් මේක වගේ study pack එකේ. Be careful. හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. මේකෙදි වා figure out කරන්න යන්නේ what is the figure you should appear in the profit and loss account. P&L එකට දාන amount එක හොයන්න යන්නේ මේ දැන් අපි. Again you prepare chart of account. For what? Allowance for receivable. හදන්න allowance for receivable chart of account එක. Allowance for receivable. Right? At the beginning of the year, at 30th June 2014, a company allowance for receivable was 39,000. Allowance for receivable. ඒක මොකද්ද? අපේ credit පැත්තේ තියෙන එකක් නේ. Provision එකක්. Actually it's not a provision but allowance. Credit side opening. Right? Balance sheet එකේ තියෙන්නේ 39,000. සමහර කට්ටිය කියනවා මේකට provisions කියලා නෑ. ඇත්තටම provision නෙවෙයි. Provision is a liability. Debtors ලෙන් අඩු කරන්න තියෙන එක liability එකක් නෙවෙයිනේ. Right? ඒක අපි කියන්නේ allowance for receivable. අපි allowance එකක් දෙනවා receivable වලට. Which we will not expect to recover. ඔයාලට මතක නම් ගිහලා බලන්න මේ session එක අපි කතා කරා. මේක provision නේ by definition it's not a provision. Provision එක කියන්නේ මොකද? It's a present obligation you have. Is it a present obligation? මේක වර්තමානයේ තියෙන obligation නේද? නෑ. අපි කට්ටිය කියනකට debtors provision කරනවා කියලා. Provision for debtors. Provision කියන වචනේ වැරදි technically. It should be what? Allowance for receivable. Right? At 30th June 2015, trade receivable total balance. Trade receivable debtor balance. At the end, how much? 417,000. Right? It was decided to write off debts totaling 37,000. We decided to write off 37,000. එහෙනම් P&L එකට කෙලින්ම යනවා ඒකනේ. P&L එකට 37,000. Right? 37,000. And adjust the allowance for receivable to the equivalent of 5% of the trade receivable based on the past events. ඉතිරි debtors ලකින් අපි charge කරනවලු 5% to what? Allowance for receivable. 417,000 minus 37,000. අපි ඉතුරු වෙන debtors ලා කීයද 480,000. මෙච්චර debtors ලා ඉතුරු වෙනවා write off කරාට පස්සේ. මේ ඉතුරු වෙන ගාණෙන් 5% should be the closing balance. මේ opening balance එක. Right? How much? මේකට 5% should be the closing balance. For 24,000. 24,000. The year end එකේ කොච්චරක් P&L අපි දානවද? 39,000 මේක balance කරන්න. 39,000 P&L. Figure how much? 15,000. Here debit, credit to P&L, gain, credit to P&L. Allowance for receivable account debit. මෙතන debit නෙවෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් credit to P&L. Credit to P&L කියන්නේ මොකද? P&L credit වෙන හැම එකම gain එකක්. Plus 15,000. How much? 50. Sorry, මේකෙන් අඩු වෙන්නයි ඕනේ. P&L එකතු වෙනවා මෙතන අඩුවීමක් තියෙන හින්දා 37,000 minus 15,000. 22,000. බලන්න 22,000 කියලා answer එකක් තියෙනවද? Yes, answer B is the correct answer. Right? මේ උත්තර බලන කලින් මේවා figure out කරගෙන ඉන්න. එතකොට ඔයාලට confidence එකක් එනවා. ඔයාගේ උත්තරේ tally වෙන උත්තරයක් තියෙනවා. Most probably that will be the correct answer. Next question from inventories. මොකද theory එක අපි ඉගෙන ගත්ත inventory before we go to the question? Inventory cost එකේ අදාළ වෙන්නේ මොනවද? කියන elements එක කතා කරා. Right? All the cost that you have incurred to bring into present location will be a part of what? Inventory cost. ඒක අපි කතා කරේ. Right? එතකොට tax එකක් ගෙවනවා නම් surcharge එකක් ගෙවනවා නම් මොනවා හරි charges transport එහෙම යනවා නම් ඒ සියල්ල අපිට මොකද කරන්න පුළුවන්? Inventory එකට capitalize කරන්න පුළුවන්. Most important part is what? Inventory valuation. How do we value inventory? Cost or NRV whichever is lower. Cost එකයි net realizable value එකෙන් දෙකෙන් අඩු වගේට අපි inventory value කරන්න ඕනේ at the year end. Whatever the difference you should charge to P&L as stock write off. The learning outcome එක basics. බලන්න මොකෙන්ද මේ question එක හදලා තියෙන්නේ. ඔය කාරණා දෙක උඩට එන්න ඕනේ. Inventory cost එකට ඇතුළත් වෙන කාරණා ටික මොනවද? Elements ටික සහ inventory value කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන දෙක. IAS2 LKS2 inventories define the extent to which overheads are included in the cost of inventories of finished goods. Finished goods කියන inventory එකේ cost එකට මොනවද include වෙන cost item elements clearly defined in IAS2. අපෙන් අහන්නේ මොනවද which of the following statements about IAS2 require in this area are correct? IAS2 එකට අනුව finished good වලට එන cost element වලින් හරිම cost element එකේ තියෙන statements ටික තමයි අහන්නේ. Right? First one. Finished good inventories may be valued on the basis of labor, material cost only without including overhead. No. When you value finished good, overhead also you have to incur. මට ඒක overhead incurred වෙනම කිව්වට වාට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ. ඇයි එහෙම වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. Now let's say to convert raw material into finished good, you will utilize electricity, you will use machineries, you will use labor, you will incur some fixed cost. ඒවා incur කරන්නේ ඇයි? To maintain this finished good. Finished good එක store කරගන්න, raw material finished good වලට convert කරන්න තමයි මේ ටික incur කරන්නේ. එහෙනම් one part of overhead, the appropriate portion of overhead also should be allocated for what? Finished good. එහෙනම් without finished good, without including overhead කියන එක වැරදි. overhead එක ඇතුළත් වෙන්න ඕනි. Carriage inward but not carriage outward should be included in the overhead when valuing inventory of finished good. Carriage inward, transport, finished good gain එක ගියපු cost එක transportation cost එක inventory ඇතුළට එන්න ඕනිලු. Now let's say you purchase this marker pen from a different country and you will incur some cost to transport this to your location. එහෙනම් ඔයාගේ location එකේ inventory cost එක ගන්නකොට මේ transport cost එකත් ඇතුළත් වෙන්න ඕනි. carriage cost එක. මොකද pay කරන amount එක විතරක්ම නෙවෙයි cost එක වෙන්නේ. මොකද ඊට වඩා purchase cost එකට වඩා තව cost එකක් මේ inventory එක to bring the present location you will incur. Therefore inward cost එක ඇතුළත but not carriage cost outward. ඒක විකුණන්න යනවා නම් cost විකුණන දැන් ඔයා ගෙනල්ලා විකුණනකොටත් ඔය transport එකක් දෙනවා. හිතන්න මේ මාර්කර් පෙන් එක deliver කරනවා customer ට. එහෙනම් ඒක ඇවිල්ලා selling and distribution cost එකක් නේ. To sell you include that cost. Selling and distribution cost which is there in the P&L but not in inventory cost. Understand? Therefore that is correct. Factory management cost should be included in the fixed overhead allocated to inventories of the finished good. Correct. Electricity, security, other maintenance, that overhead, the relevant portion of that should be incurred to what? Inventory, finished goods. The correct statements are what? Statement 2 and statement 3 are correct statements. Therefore that reflect 2 and 3 reflect in answer D. The correct answer is what? D. Right. The next question. A limited liability company sold a building at a profit. Building at profit එක විකුණලා. How will this transaction be treated in the company's statement of cash flows? Cash flow statement එකේ. දැන් අපි building එකක් විකුණලා තිනවා ඒකෙන් cash ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා profit එකකුත් තියනවලු. එහෙනම් proceed of sales කොහෙද දාන්නේ? අපි treatment දෙයක් ගන්න proceed sale කොහෙද දාන්නේ? ඒ කියන්නේ sales proceed එක මොන activity අතරද record කරන්නේ? 3 activities තියෙනවනේ. Right? Investment activities, financing activities and the operation activities. Operating activities first. Right? And the profit. කොහෙද මේ proceed of sale එකයි profit on sale එකයි කොහෙද දාන්නේ කියලා අහන්නේ. Cash inflows under financing activity. Completely wrong, no? No need to read even the rest of the answer. This is not financing activity. Financing activity කියන්නේ මොනවද? Issue of shares, issue of debentures, taking a loan. Those are financing activity. How do you raise finance will reflect in financing activities. Investment activities can sale of disposal of property plant and disposal of property plant activity basically. And purchase of shares. හොඳට මතකයි මම කිව්වා කී සතියේ. If you issue new shares that is financing. If you purchase shares from share market or from whoever that is investment. You are taking that to earn dividend. Purchase of loan note or debentures investment. Why you are expecting interest? Right? That's the difference. But here it's not financing activity. B. Cash inflows under investing activity. Hari. Deduct from profit calculating cash flows from operating activities. Correct, no? That is the correct answer. දැන් අපි profit එකක් තියෙන්නේ. Profit එක දැන් already එකතු කරලා තියෙන්නේ operating profit එකට. එහෙනම් deduct from profit in calculating cash flows from operating activities. That is the treatment for profit on sales and proceed for sales. What is the treatment? Cash inflows under investment activities. So the question number 18 answer is what? B. CD no need to read. If you know the logic, if you know the subject properly, all the answers should not read. When you are in the correct answer, select that. Right? But if you have doubt, half-way studies, you have to go through all the answers. Which of the following item may appear in the company's statement of changes in equity according to IAS 1 presentation of financial statements? මොන itemද according to LKS 1 අපේ include කරන්නේ changes in equity. හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න changes in equity එකට යන ඒවා ටික තමයි මෙතන අහන්නේ. Right? Unrealized revaluation gain. යනවා. Yes, changes in equity එකට යනවා. reserve එකක් විදියට. Dividends paid, yes, you will record. Proceed of equity shares, yes, share capital. Profit for the year, yes, you will add that to return earning. So all these four will reflect where? Changes in equity statement. So all four means answer is C. Question number 20. Sigma bank statements shows an overdrawn balance of 38,600 at 30th June 2005. A check against company cash book, a check against company cash book reveal the following differences. මෙන්න මේ differences ටික ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. Based on the information, what should be the cash book balance before any adjustments? Work out it. Right? So you have overdrawn balance, how much? 38,600. Balance as per bank statement 38,600 minus overdrawn balance, right? Now we have to do some adjustments to derive cash book balance. Bank charges have not been entered in the cash book. එහෙනම් bank charge අපි ගන්නනේ bank book එකේ balance එක නේ. sorry, cash book balance. Bank reconciliation අපි කරේ නෑනේ මේ වෙලාවේ, right? But previous webinars වල අපි කරලා තියෙනවා මේක. This is a good opportunity for you to recap. එහෙනම් මෙතන මේක තමයි figure එක අපි ගන්න යනවා. අපි පටන් ගන්න bank statement එකේ. එහෙනම් bank statement එකෙන් මේක අඩු කරලා තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි cash book එකෙන් අඩු කරලා තියෙනවද නැහැ? එහෙනම් මෙතන cash book එකේ balance එක එන්න නම් bank statement එක අඩු කරපේ නැවත එකතු කරන්න. Bank charges. How much? 200. Understand the logic. Why do we add it? Because we are going to figure out cash book balance. Cash book balance එක මේක අඩු කරලා නැහැ. මෙතන අඩු කරලා තියෙනවා නම් ආයෙසරක් අඩු කරලා duplication එකක් වෙනවා. මේක මේ උත්තරේ එන්නේ නැහැ. මෙතන අඩු කරලා තියෙන එකතු කරන්න. මොකද අපි ගන්න යන මේ උත්තරේ. cash book balance, bank cash book balance එක ගන්න යන. ඒ book balance එක මේක නැති නිසා bank charge එක අපි work out කරන bank statement balance එකෙන් ඒකෙන් අඩු කරන නිසා එකට එකතු කරන්න. Second one, logment recorded on 30th June 2015 but credited by the bank on 14th 700. අපේ logment එක අපේ cash book එකට add කරගෙන තියෙනවා 14,700 but bank එක credit කරලා තියෙන කවද්ද? next month එකේ. එහෙනම් bank එකේ මේක record කරලා නැහැ. deposit එක. right? debit අපි debit කරගෙන ඉන්නවා. අපි debit කරන්නේ නැහැ මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා. cash book එකේ ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා. මේක ඇතුලේ නැහැ. මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා මේක ඇතුලේ නැති නිසා මේකට එකතු කරන්න. How much? 14,700. Bank statement. එකට එකතු කරන්න. right? Check payment entered in cash book. Cash book check payment එක එන්න කළා but not presented for the bank for the payment 30th June 2015. years පැටලෙන ගණන් ගන්න එපා. right? 27,800. අපේ books වලින් මේක අඩු කරගෙන 27,800 මෙතන අඩු කරගෙන bank statement එක අඩු වෙලා නැහැ. එහෙනම් අඩු කරන්න එතනින්. unpresented check. How much? 27,800. Understand the logic? කටපාඩම් කරන්න එපා. A check payment to supplier 4,200 charged to the accounts in June 2005 recorded in cash book as receipt. cash book එකේ අපි receipt එකක් කියලා දාගෙන ඉන්නවා. මේක එකතු කරගෙන තියෙනවා. මේ පැත්තේ balance එක වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනනේ. cash book එක එකතු කරලා. බැංක් ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එකේ මේක අඩු එක අපි කරලා තියෙන කෑෂ් හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. චෙක් පේමන්ට් ටු සප්ලයර් සප්ලයර්ට පේ කරපුවා මොකද වෙන්නේ? charge to 4200 charge to the bank, charge to the account in 2000 June 2005 June 2000 වෙලා තියෙන්නේ 5/15 වල recorded in cash book as a receipt. එහෙනම් cash book එකේ receipt එකක් විදිහට තියෙනවා. මේ පැත්ත වැඩි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මෙහෙ වැඩි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් මෙතනින් අඩු කරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. මෙතන ඇත්තටම 4200 duplicate වෙලා තියෙනවා. එහෙනම් තව correction. කලියම 4200 වලින් right මේක අඩු වෙලා තියෙන ඉතින් මේක එකතු කරන්න. මෙතන අඩු කරලා තියෙන 4200 නේ. දැන් මෙතන අපි cash book එකේ balance එක අඩු කරගන්න ඕනයක් එකතු කරගෙන තියෙනවා නේ. අඩු කරන්න ඕනයක් receipt එකක් විදිහට දාගෙන. ඒ කියන්නේ 4200 වලින් credit කරලා ගියොත් මේ වැරද්ද හැදෙනවා. හැබැයි හරියක රෙකෝඩ් වෙනවද නැහැ? හරියක රෙකෝඩ් වෙන මේක ඩබල් වෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙනම් cash book එකේ මෙතන නෙවෙයි අපි හදන්නේ. bank statement එක පටන් ගන්න මේකයි ගන්න යන්නේ. අපිට මේක ඕනින්ද මේක හදන්න නෙමෙයි යන්නේ. හරි නිවැරදි එක amount එක ගන්න අපිට ඕනේ cash book එකේ balance එක ඩිරයිව් කරගන්න. එහෙනම් මේක ඩබල් වෙන්න ඕනේ. 8400 එකතු වෙන්නයි ඕනේ. right? එකතු වෙන්නයි ඕනේ. ඇයි එහෙම මම කියන්නේ? මෙතන එක එකතු කරගෙන මෙතනින් මේක අඩු කරගෙන 4200 අඩු කරලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද මේක ඩබල් ඉම්පැක්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා. මේක debit receipt එකක් දාලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක credit කරොත් nullify මේ හරි ඒක record වෙලා නැහැනේ. එහෙනම් ආයෙසරයක් තව වරක් credit වෙන්න ඕනේ මේ පැත්ත. හැබැයි පටන් ගන්න මෙතන නෙවෙයි හින්දා bank statement එකකින් හින්දා bank statement එක already එක credit කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක debit කරොත් එකතු කරොත් bank statement එක credit කරලා තියෙනවා මම කියන්නේ. bank එකෙන් අඩු කරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. අඩු කරගෙන තියෙන්නේ මේ ගාන. හැබැයි ඒ ගාන විතර නෙමෙයි. මේ balance එක ගන්න නම් ඒක dual impact එක අනිත් පැත්ත impact එකත් ගන්න ඕනේ. Right? Correct. Now look at 38,600 plus 200 plus 14,700 minus 27,800 plus 8,400. The correct answer minus 43,100. 43,100. The correct answer is what? $43,100. A. Correct answer is A. You have to be careful. දැන් ඔයා නිකමට හරි මේක තමයි ඔයා ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕන පොයින්ට් එක. ඔයා නිකමට හරි මේක overdrawn balance එක ගන්න තියෙන්නේ. The question has clearly mentioned it. Overdrawn balance 38,000. මේක ඔයා ඒක මගහැරලා මේක අපි plus කරා කියලා හිතමු අපි. Answer will be 34,100. එහෙම answer එකක් තියෙන උත්තරයක් දීලා. කීයද? D. ඔයා වැරදිලා මෙතන mistake එකක් කරොත් මෙන්න මේ answer එකෙන් ඉවර වෙනවා. අහුවෙන්නේ නැහැ ජීවිතේට. You have to be careful. Right? හරිම උත්තරේ යන්න නම් මේක minus වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒතර මේක තමයි correct answer එක මේක wrong. But both answers are there. Be careful. Right? ඔයාට carefully හිතන්න නම් මේ වගේ වෙලාවට. Right? Fine. Next question. The plant and machinery cost මේක කොහෙන්ද එන්නේ නම් property plant and equipment වලින්. The plant and machinery cost account of the company is shown below. The company's policy is to charge depreciation at 20% on a straight line basis with proportionate depreciation in year of acquisition and disposal. What is the depreciation charged to profit charge for the year ended 31st December 2005? Depreciation calculation. හරි ලේසි ප්‍රශ්නයක්. හැබැයි උත්තර බලන්න කලින් හොඳට හිතලා බලන්න. right? හරි ඇප්ලිකේෂන් ටික අපල බලන්න. එතකොට ලේසි. opening balance එක තියෙනවා depreciation. You are going to calculate depreciation. Opening balance එකත් එක්ක බලපුවම කීයක් තියෙන්නේ? 280,000. මේකෙන් අපි dispose කරලා තියෙන තිබ්බ asset වලින් 14,000. 14,000 dispose කරලා තිනවා ඒකට 20% ගහන්න. එතකොට කීයද depreciation? මේ ඇවිල්ලා opening balance එකට. right? 280,000 minus 14,000 into 20%. 53,200. මෙන්න අවුරුද්ද මුල තිබ්බ asset වලට depreciation ටික. because 14,000 අපි වික්කා. හැබැයි මේ විකුණපු 14,000 disposal. විකුණපු 14,000 සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම අපි අයින් කරලා තියෙනවා. No depreciation has been calculated for this 14,000 because we have removed this no. මේක අඩු කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ 14,000 වල depreciation calculate වෙලාම නැහැ. හැබැයි මේක විකුණන්නේ කොහොමද? 30th June transfer disposal. අපි accounts හදන්නේ 31st December. එහෙනම් July June 30th වෙනකල් මේක asset එක අපි පාවිච්චි කරලා තිනවා. 6 months we have used 14,000 into 20% for the this is annual depreciation. මේ අවුරුද්දේම depreciation මේ disposal කරපු amount එක. because disposal amount we have removed. මේ 14,000 depreciation calculate වෙලා නැහැ. ඒකයි තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන අපි. but අපි ඒකට calculate කරන්න ඕනේ use කරපු කාලෙට. 14,000 into 20% කියන අවුරුද්දම හැබැයි මාස 6යි අපි use කරලා තියෙන්නේ. how much depreciation? $14,000 into 20%, 1,400. 1,400. Then additions. There are two additions, right? April 1st. First April additions, right? කොච්චරක්ද? 48,000. 48,000 into 20%, that is full year depreciation. First April means how much? How many months? Jan, Feb, 3 months I incur about 9 months, right? 9 months depreciation. 48,000 into 20% divided by 12 into 9, 7,200. Another addition is there, September 1st. 1st September, again another addition is there. How much? 36,000, 20%. 1st September means we are using it for September, October, November, December, 4 months. $36,000 into 20% into 9 divided by 12, 5,400. This is the total depreciation, right? Total depreciation. Sorry, for 36,000 into 20% divided by 12 into 4, 2,400. Right? So then total depreciation plus 7,200 plus 1,400 plus 53,200. 64,200. බලන්න මෙහෙම ආන්සර් එකක් තියෙනවද කියලා? Yes. Correct answer is C. The correct answer is what? C. 64,200. Question number 2. Which of the following are correct? So here we have to figure out the correct answer, right? The statement of financial position valued the inventory, value of inventory should be as close as to possible net realizable value. No, case 2 is telling we don't need to take the inventory as close as to net realizable value. Cost to NR whichever is lower. The first statement is wrong then. The valuation of finished good inventory must be included what? Overheads. Correct. Production overhead included in value in inventory should be calculated by reference to the company's normal level of production during the period. Yes, correct. When you absorb overhead to inventory, you have to consider what? Company's normal level of production during the period. Abnormalities you will not consider, right? So very important word here, what? normal level of production you have to consider. 2 and 3 correct, right? 2 and 3 correct. So then 2 and 3 kin answer දෙක විතරක් තියෙන එකක් මේකේ නැහැ. So then correct answer should be what? D. Fourth statement should be also correct then. In assessing net realizable value, inventory must be considered separately, yes, or in group of similar items, yes, not by taking inventory value as a whole, yes. When you have a different product, let's say Cargill's Food City, you have different products, all are inventories. Some of them are, let's say, pharmaceutical items, some of them are you will have some drinks, some of them are vegetables, some of them are, you know, cookery items, kind of thing. All these categories you have to take separately. When you figure out net realizable value, you can't take all as one inventory item. So statement 2, 3, 4 correct, statement 1 only wrong. The correct answer is what? D. Question number 3. A business sublet part of his office accommodation, right? Sublease එකක් දීලා තිනවා, right? Part of his office accommodation. Rent is received quarterly in advance on 1st January, on January, 1st April, 1st July, 1st October. What quarterly තමයි හම්බෙන්නේ හැමදාම in advance. ඒ කියන්නේ prepayment එකක් තියෙනවා මෙතන. Right? Prepayment එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? The annual rent has been 24,000 for the some years, but it was increased to 30,000 from July 2015 onwards. What should be the amount? What amount for this rent should appear in statement of financial, the company's financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2016, right? Again, have a chart of account. Rent chart of account. Here rent receivable or payable, receivable, sublet, receivable. Income එකක් ඉන්නේ. කොහොමද එනවා කියන්නේ income එක? 1st January, 1st April, 1st July, 1st October. Quarterly in advance. අපි හදන්නේ කවදද? 31st January 2016. අපිට එන්න ඕනි 31st January 2016. අපි ගහන්නේ 31st January 2016. අපි accounts හදන්නේ 31st January වලට. හැබැයි 1st January තමයි payment එක කරන්නේ නේ. 1st January තමයි payment එක කරන්නේ. Now, according to the given data, අපි මුලින් ඉඳන් ගියොත් එහෙම opening balance එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. brought forward balance එකක්. credit පැත්තේ ඒ advance receivable එක. right? Sorry, liability එකක් තියෙන advance අපිට හම්බ වෙනවනේ. අපේ income එක in advance හම්බ වෙනවා. ඒතකොට අපිට ඒක receivable එකක් නෙමෙයි. receivable in advance. ඒතකොට credit balance එකක් තියෙන්නේ. ඒතකොට opening balance එක තියෙන්න ඕනි. right? කවදටද? 1st January අපි accounts හදන්නේ January නේ. right? January 31st. එතකොට 1st February 2014 කියලා අපි ගමු. මෙතනදී අපිට කවද ගෙවපු rent එකද prepayment විදිහට තියෙන්නේ? advance විදිහට තියෙන්නේ? 1st January. 1st January තමයි payment එක කරලා තියෙන්නේ. කීයක් ගෙවනවද අපිට? 1st January payment එක කරනවා 24,000 තමයි annual rent එක. 24,000 divide by 4. ඒ කියන්නේ quarterly එනවා 6,000. 6,000 rent එකක් අපි pay කරනවා 1st January. 1st January pay කරපුවාම මේ අපි කතා කරන්නේ 1st February opening balance එක. ඒතර 2 months තමයි advance ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ. මොකද quarter එකකට මාස 3යි. මාසයක් already ගිහිල්ලා with is January 2014 opening balance එක brought forward වෙලා තියෙනවා February and March වලට. 3න් 2ක්. 6,000 divide by 4,000. මෙන්න opening balance එක. හදාගන්න එහෙමයි. 1st January අපි pay කරා. ඒක for the year charge වෙනවා. 1st January 2014 වලට charge වෙනවා. opening balance එක තමයි year end එක opening balance එක හැදෙන්නේ කවදද? 1st February වලට. එතකොට balance එක 4,000. මොකද මාස දෙක advance එක. ඊට පස්සේ pay කරනවා 1st April and අපි pay කරනවා 1st July 1st October මෙන්න මේ payments ටික යනවා during the year and 1st January 2016 also යනවා 1st January 2016 May 15 May 15 මේකත් 15 right 15 yeah 15 here also 15 na first 15 1st April 2015 then 1st January යන payment එක කීයද 6000 අපි ඒක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ increase වෙන්නේ 1st July වලට July වෙනකල් යන්නේ 6000 එහෙනම් අපි මෙදාත් pay කරනවා 6000 මේ දවස් අපි pay කරනවා 6000 then 1st July වලට එනවා ඒක වැඩි වෙනවා 24000 30000 වලට 30000 divide by 4 එහෙනම් quarter එකට pay කරනවා 77500 මෙදාත් pay කරනවා 7500 අවසානට අපි pay කරනවා 7500 ජනවාරිත් pay කරනවානේ දීසා pay කරනවානේ හම්බෙනවා sorry rent receivable එකට cash debit receivable එක credit cash debit receivable debit මේ ඒතර closing balance එකත් අපි හදා ගන්න ඕනේ closing balance එක අපි pay කරා මෙදා 1st January 2016 pay කරා 7500 මේකේ මාස දෙකක් මේ එක මාස තුනට pay කරපු උනට මාස දෙකක් prepayment වෙන්න ඕනේ right brought forward එකක් තියෙන බෑ opening balance එක මේක තමයි opening balance එක එහෙනම් කීයද divide by 5000 මෙන්න opening balance එක මාස දෙකක් අදාළයි year next year එකට. ඒතර මේක හැදෙනවා මේ විදිහට. දැන් බලන්න අවුරුද්දට charge වෙන ගාන P&L එකට. right 4000 හරි සරලයි මේක. 4000 plus 6000 plus 7500 into 3 32500 32500 minus 500 5000 27500 to the P&L. හරි සරලයි මේ විදිහට chart of account එක ගහගත්තොත්. නැත්නම් ඔයා කල්පනා කර කර හිටියොත් හරි අමාරු මේ වැඩේ කරගන්න. The challenge is this. How to figure out opening balances. Others very simple. Right? And this. This means that. Right? Fine. So what is the answer? 27500 should be in P&L and credit side balance should be there in balance sheet. So the answer is D. The correct answer is D. Right? 5000 sundry payable. Then next one. Question number 4. The figures shown in the table below are an extract from the account of Ridgeway, whatever the company. Capital employed is 1.5 million. Capital employed 1.5 million. What is the return on capital employed? Very simple. Return on equity. Return on equity. Capital employed. Sorry. Return on capital employed. Be careful. Right? Capital employed, they have given 1.5 million. Now what figure should be at the top? ROE. Capital employees can be the total capital that you have employed. මෙතන capital employed කියපුවම මෙතන තියෙනවා මොකද්ද? equity plus debt. both. combination of both. එතකොට මෙතන එනං දෙකොල්ලගෙම ණයට දීලා තියෙන bankers ලා දීලා තියෙන capital lenders ලගේ එකයි shareholders ලගේ දෙකම තියෙනවා. capital total capital employed ආන්නේ. return on equity ඇහුවොත් ROE කියලා ඇහුවොත් මේක represent වෙන්නේ මෙතන විතරයි. but ROC කියන්නේ both equity and debt capital. එහෙනම් what is the return for equity and debt holders? Revenue, gross profit, distribution expenses, profit before interest and tax. Profit before interest and tax. එහෙනම් මෙතන debtors ලා ඉන්නේ හින්දා මෙතන debtors ලා අයින් කරව profit එක ගන්න බෑ. එහෙනම් profit before interest and tax මෙතන ගන්න ඕනේ. මොකද capital employed එක ඇතුළේ debtors ලාත් ඉන්න නිසා. එයාලගේ return එකත් මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙන්න ඕනේ. If it is profit ROE, profit before tax, PBT, right? before tax and interest here ගන්නවා PBIT profit before interest and tax. මෙතන interest element එක අයින් වෙනවයි මේක ඇතුලේ debtors ලා නැති නිසා. හැබැයි ROC එක ඇතුලේ debtors line ඉඳන් මේක ගන්න ඕනේ 300. That's the learning outcome, right? So what is the rate? 300.3 divided by 1.5. 300,000 20%. 20% reflect in answer D. The correct answer is what? D. 20%. Question number 5. Again they are talking about event after balance sheet date. Which of the following event after the reporting period would normally qualify as adjusting event? Earlier question was what? Non-adjusting event. මෙතන අහන්නේ adjusting event. මොකද්ද adjusting event එක කියලා අහන්නේ? A bankruptcy of credit customer with a balance outstanding at the end of reporting period. Yes, it's provide evidence to the reporting date. Therefore, you will adjust it. A decline in market value of the investments. No, that will not adjust. A declaration of ordinary dividends. No, that will not adjust. A determination of cost of asset purchased before the end of the reporting period. Determination of the cost of assets purchased before the end of reporting period you will adjust, right? So point number 1 and point number 4 will adjust in the financial statement as event after reporting period item, right? Fine. The correct answer is what? Answer is D. Question number 6. Auden received a statement from one of its supplier, right? Alta, showing a balance due 3,980. මේවා කියවන ගමන්ම summarize කරගන්න. How the payable, how the receivable, right? Then only you can figure out the correct answer. Right? Auden. අනිත් එක නා කවුද? Alta. Right? කවුද payable කාගේද receivable? හොඳට බලා ගන්න ඕනේ. Auden received a statement from its supplier. From its one of its supplier. Right? Supplier කෙනෙක්ගෙන් තමයි එන්නේ. එහෙනම් Auden ට හම්බෙන්නේ supplier කෙනෙක් නම් ඔයාගේ payable එකක් තියෙන්නේ. Supplier දෙන්නේ payable, supplier කියන්නේ payable. Right? එතනින් මල්ල ගන්න payable ද receivable ද කියලා. Showing a balance of 3,980. 3,980 is the balance. Right? The amount due according to payable ledger of Alta in Auden's record. Ledger of Alta ගේ account එකේ තියෙන Auden's record was 230. මේක receivable විදිහට තියෙනවා. sorry. දැක්කනේ පැටලෙනවා. එහෙනම් අනිත් පැත්තට තමයි තියෙන්නේ මේක දැන් right? The amount due according to payable ledger of Alta in Auden's record. Auden's record how much? 230. Right? Auden received statement from one of its supplier Alta showing the balance of 3,980. Receivable තියෙනවා 3,980. මේක තමයි කතන්දරේ. මෙයාගේ receivable එක. Right? Receivable balance එක. Difference how much? Difference කීයද? 3,980 minus 230. 3,750 is the difference. 3,750 is the difference, right? Now they are asking what is the what difference between two companies record after adjusting this item, right? A check sent by Ordin for 270 has not been allowed for ALTA's statements. ගන්න chart of accounts දෙක. ලේසියෙන්ම මට වැඩේ කර ගන්න පුළුවන්. Ordin ALTA. So Ordin ගේ balance එක මොකද තියෙන්නේ අපි දැන් 230 payable එකක් තියෙනවා. Balance. මෙයාගේ balance 3980. Right? Which is the difference remains between the two companies' record after adjusting for these items. A check sent by Ordin 270 has not been allowed in ALTA's statements. මෙයාගේ check එකක් එවලා ඒක record කරලා නැහැ ALTA ගේ books වල. එහෙනම් මෙයාගේ receivable එක අඩු වෙන්න ඕන 270. Right? First one. Second one, ALTA has not allowed for goods returned by Ordin. Ordin return කරලා මෙයා record කරලා නැහැ. එහෙනම් මෙයාගේ ඒකෙමුත් අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ 180. මොකද receivable balance එක අඩු වෙනවා මෙයා ගත්ත බල ටික ආයෙවලා. Ordin made a contra entry, right, reducing the amount due to ALTA by 3,200. The balance due from ALTA is in Ordin receivable ledger. No such entry has been made in ALTA's record. So then what has happened, Ordin made a contra entry, but that entry has not been recorded by whom? ALTA. මෙයාගේ balance එකෙන් contra කරගන්න ඕනේ නා. third one එකම තඩු වෙනවා එනවා. How much? contra කරලා තිනවා 3200. මේ records තුනම ALTA record කරලා නැහැ. දැන් බලන්න balance එක කීයද එන්නේ කියලා. $3980 minus 270 minus 180 minus 3,200. 330. Actually balance should be what? Receivable balance 330. Then below the difference is 330 and 230. Difference is 100. The question is what? What is the difference remains between the two companies record after adjusting this item? Even after adjusting this item, there is a difference of 100. So right, the answer is what? D. The correct answer is D. Still there is a difference of 100. Question number 7. Right? A company's trial balance failed to agree. Agree වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙනම් මොකද්ද එන උත්තරේ? Suspense account එක ඇති කොහේ හරි. And suspense account was open for a difference. I told you, we have discussed this. Subsequent check-in revealed that discount allowed 13,000. Discount allowed 13,000 had been credited to discount received account. Right? Received account. An entry on the credit side of the cash book balance, cash book, for the purchase of some machinery 18,000 had not been posted to the plant and machinery account. Which of the following journal entries would correct this? Would correct the errors? Suspense account එකේ balance එක අපිට දීලා නැහැ. Right? අපෙන් අහන correct කරපුවා මොකද්ද balance එන්න හරි entries ටික කියලා. දැන් බලන්න first one. Right? First one, discount allowed. දැන් මොකද discount එක වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? Suspense subsequent check-in reveals that discount allowed. ඒ කියන්නේ discount එක දීලා තියෙනවා. 13,000 had been recorded in discount received account. එහෙනම් discount allowed එක debit වෙනවා 13,000, credit වෙනවා discount received එක. වැරදි. ඒ entry විතර දාලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ නේ. තව එක entry එකක් තියෙනවා මොකද්ද? 18,000 වලට. එතකොට ඉතුරු එක මොකද්ද? The credit side of cash book for purchase of some machinery 18,000 had been posted in the plant and machinery account. එහෙනම් plant and machinery account එක සම්බන්ධනයක් කොහේද තැනක තියෙනවනේ. පළවෙනි entry මොකද්ද අපි තියෙන්නේ? discount වලට. එහෙනම් දෙවෙනි entry වල discount allowed එක debit වෙන්න ඕන. හරි. Right? Discount allowed debit. discount received එක debit වෙන්නත් ඕනේ. මොකද credit වෙලා තියෙන දැන්. හරි. Suspense account 26,000 credit, which is correct. For what? 13,000. 13,000 වලට නම් entry number දෙක හරි. Right? බලන්න property plant and equipment කොටද තියෙන්නේ. Property plant and equipment debit වෙනවා 18,000. ඇයි එහෙම වෙන්න ඕනේ? දැන් some machinery had not been posted in the property plant and equipment. එහෙනම් property plant and equipment වල debit වෙන්න ඕනේ. And suspense account credit වෙන්න ඕනේ 18,000. එහෙනම් discount සම්බන්ධව හරි උත්තරේ number 2. Property plant and equipment, plant and machinery සම්බන්ධව හරි උත්තරේ මොකද්ද? 4. එහෙනම් answer C reflect point number 2 and 4. So the correct answer is what? C, suspense account. The following information is received. Following information is revealed relevant for question number 8 and 9. Question number 8 and 9 එකටයි මේ information relevant වෙනවලු. බලන්න මොකද්ද කියන්නේ කියලා. The following, the company draft financial statement for 2015 shown profit. අපි උඩ ලියා ගමු මේ numbers ටික. Right? Profit for the year. Profit. How much? 630,000. Before that, go and read what they are expecting. Which of the above item would require an entry to suspense account in correcting items? The second question, what would be the company's profit after correcting the above entries? Suspense account එක කරා යන account entries මොනවද කියලා අහනවා. correct කරපුවම එන්න profit එක මොකද්ද කියලා අහනවා. බලමු. However, trial balance did not agree. Therefore, you have to open a suspense account. Appears in the company's draft financial statement position. Subsequent check-in revealed the following errors. The cost of an item of property plant 48,000 had been entered in the cash book and in the plant register as 4,800. 48,000 එක plant register එක enter කරලා තිනා 4,800. Depreciation at the rate of 10% per year 480 had been charged. දැන් මේක suspense account එකට යන්න ඕනේද? නෑ. ඇයි? මේ වැරද්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ accounts වල නෙවෙයි, ledger accounts වල නෙවෙයි. Where they have done this mistake, plant register. FAR, fixed asset register. Fixed asset register is not a part of general ledger. Therefore, this will not go to what? Suspense account. එහෙනම් පළවෙනි එක suspense account එකට යන්නේ නැහැ. But you have to have profit adjustment. Depreciation wrong. 48,000 should be depreciated, right? According to 10%, applicable rate is 10%, right? එහෙම දැම්මත් 4,800 එන්න ඕනි. හැබැයි අපි දාලා තියෙන 480. එහෙනම් අඩුවෙන් දාලා තියෙන depreciation how much? 4,800 minus 480. Sorry, 4,800 minus 480. තව depreciation අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ 4,200 330. මේක අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ. But not applicable for suspense account. මොකද suspense account එකක් ඕනේ නැහැ general ledger එකේ වැරද්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Bank charges 440 appeared in bank statement, right? Appeared in bank statement in December 2005 but had not been entered in the company record. එහෙනම් bank charges වදාන්න. Bank charges. Bank statement එකේ තියෙනවලු appear in bank statement but not in company books. How much? 440. අඩු කරන්න. මේකලා suspense account එකක් ඕනේද නැහැ. මේක සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම අපි record කරලා නැහැ. Then you go and record. No need to have suspense account. Because of these two errors, there is no impact to the trial balance difference, right? Third one. One of the credit director of a company paid 800 due to a supplier and the company's payable ledger by personal checks. The bookkeeper record a debit in the supplier's ledger account, but did not complete the double entry for this transaction. Did not complete the double entry. Double entry complete කරලා නැහැ. එහෙනම් that should go to suspense account, right? The company does not maintain payable ledger account. But there is no profit impact. The settlement of debtors and creditors, there is no impact to P&L, no impact, right? Number 1, 2, 3, no impact to P&L. Payments, no. Payment to creditors, no impact. There is no impact to the P&L. The payment side of cash book had been understated by 10,000. Make a suspense account but no impact to P&L. P&L impact is the cash book balance. When you correct it, suspense account you had open, but no impact to the P&L. So then revised profit figure 600 minus 4320 minus 626,100. 4,320 minus 440 minus 320 minus 440. Yeah, 625,240. This is a revised credit, revised profit 625,240. The correct answer is what? D for question number 9. Question number 8. What will be going through suspense account? Only 3 and 4. The correct answer is what? 3 and 4. So then answer is 3 and 4 reflect in B. So these are the answers for question number 8 and 9. So you have to give more attention on this suspense account thing, error correction. Examiner can set up nice questions from this chapter. Therefore, I recommend you to go through that chapter again and look at some questions. They are in pilot paper also. Here also we have done few questions. So that's the end of question bank 1, right? So we will meet up in another session to discuss another set of questions. Thank you.